So it ended AC Milan 1, Liverpool 3 in Liverpool's first game in the UEFA Champions League, and a Scott's first UEFA Champions League game, first European game in chance, as Liverpool bounced back from the pip and slip against Nottingham Forest at the weekend with a very professional 3-1 away win at AC Milan between the two historic European clubs. Of course, AC Milan did take the lead quite early on through Christian Pulisic, poor defending from some Mitats, you have to say. Poor defending from Tosa Simitats, who missed the header with the dap, with Christian Pulisic to run into, and Pulisic once again this his annual goal against Liverpool. Christian Pulisic only seems to turn up, doesn't he, against Liverpool. It just seems to be one of them players who plays shit in the other games, but turns up, always turns up against Liverpool. And my reaction was priceless that goal. Like, my reaction was like, yeah, of course it's him. And I said in my match preview, didn't I, that Pulisic always does well against Liverpool. So it wasn't a great start from us either. Wasn't a great start, especially when we want to bounce back as well. But the best part about us, we didn't panic. We didn't panic at all. And straight away, AC Milan looked like, even when they were 1-0 down, obviously the goalkeeper was injured. And we took advantage of it. I think we took advantage of it with the set pieces we got. First goal, Trinaz and Arnold free hit, Tenate with a free header, pretty much with a free header, but good header to make it 1-1. And plus the goalkeeper wasn't coming out, was he? Especially when he's got an injury. The goalkeeper wasn't coming out for AC Milan. Especially when he's got an injury as well. Second goal, to take the lead, another set piece from a corner. Simitas' corner this time, and first one died with a free header, pushes the defender off him, and free header, lovely W to make it 2-1. And we should have had more goals. In the first half for me. Should have had more goals in the first half where Salah hit the crossbar twice. So we were dominant for the whole game. AC Milan had a few moments where they were quite dangerous on the counter. More seen the second half when we were probably 2-1 up and 3-1 up. And obviously when we did go 3-1 up, which was in the second half, obviously AC Milan changed the goalkeeper. They eventually changed the goalkeeper, putting the young goalkeeper on, when he should have been on earlier for me. Because you just never know, he could have been a world beater, couldn't he? But that's AC Milan's problem. And we pretty much finished the game off with Sabotai's goal. Cody Gakpo, who I thought was probably my man in the match for me. I thought Gakpo was my man in the match. I thought he was superb. Offered a presence in attack as well. So I actually think Cody Gakpo was my man in the match for me. And a well-deserved assist for him. To find Sabotai, who pretty much shins it in, doesn't he? Shins it in for 3-1. And a great start to this UEFA Champions League campaign for us, especially when every game in this format you need to aim to win. Of course, you need to aim to win now. You can't really settle for a point. Of course, even a point now seems like a bad result. You need to aim to win in this format. Especially if you want to qualify for the top 8 as well, with this automatic qualification. And but much better performance anyways than it was in Nottingham Forest. Much better performance. But I think I said it in my preview as well. I said in my preview that AC Milan do concede goals, and quite poor. they had quite poor defensively, and I thought they would, and I thought they would play into our hands, and that was the case. They did play into our hands for me. They did play in our hands, into our hands, and yeah, we only made 2 changes, didn't we, to start the 11. Obviously, Dapo came in for Diaz, and Simitic came in for Robertson. Simitic, for me, I still worry about in defensive awareness. That was exposed in the game. The midfield improved after the first goal for me. Obviously, after playing the midfield for the first goal as well. I don't think it was the midfield's best performance. I still thought they were getting cut through easily, our midfield. But they weren't too bad. They weren't too bad for me. But yeah, I think our forwards were probably the most positive for me. And our defenders as well, in terms of our centre backs as well. But yeah, I think the forwards were our most positive. They were the positives for me. Salah was sharp. Salah should have probably got a goal for me. Dapo, as I said, Dapo, my man in the match. Jota, when he was running through the Milan midfield and defence as well, winning them fouls as well. If there was a good midfielder, look, the midfield wasn't bad. I'm not saying the midfield was bad. I thought they were alright, to be fair. But it wasn't their best performance for me, midfield. People might disagree with me, because I have seen a lot of people go for Tron versus man in the match. Yeah, he was good, but I don't think he was his best aim for me. So that's why I gave it to Tony Dapo, my man in the match. So, but yeah, great start to the campaign, especially when you need to win. Pretty much, you need to aim to win every game now, in this format, which is what I like. I actually like the format. So no team can now sit back for a point. Obviously, there will be a few teams that will still sit back for a point, like the pub teams, for example. But for me, great start to the UEFA Champions League campaign on the Duffer's birthday as well. So a nice win for the Duffer on his birthday as well. And our next game is at home to Bournemouth, so I'll see you all there for the match preview at home to Bournemouth, and my week 5 Premier League predictions for the weekend as well. So I'll see you all there, and feel free to leave your thoughts down below on this game down below, on this away performance from Liverpool in AC Milan in the Champions League. Take care, stay safe, so yeah, and up our nice shots words. That's in.